Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. First of all, this is a interesting time for all of us. Obviously, those that have served in this legislature for the last 6 years together, it's kind of odd to be up here doing this right now, and it goes by very fast. I say that to say it's been an honor to be here. And the first thing that I would be talking about is there's zero chance that I could be here serving in this capacity, doing what we do here without my wife of 18 years, Melissa, who's been by my side for 10 of those years in public service at the county board level and here at the state level. And anybody that can put up with me for 10 minutes deserves extra crowns in heaven when she does end up there. I knew I'd get some applause on that one. But seriously, for her to stick by and to go through what we all have to go through when we choose this path, it's truly amazing, and I thank her for that. And my mom, who's a definite mama bear, who's not here actually, but she also a huge part with my entire family and sisters and in-laws that have all supported me during this journey. Had an amazing staff. Started with Jacqueline, who was my campaign manager, who worked for us for a few months, and without her helping navigate through campaigns, would not be here speaking today. Then I have Jacob McLaughlin and Terry Langley, who have been with me since the beginning. This staff is incredible. I know that's a rarity in the House and even in the Senate to have the same staff for most of your time here. And I've had them pretty much my entire time, except for a couple months at the beginning. They're not just staff to me. They're family. They're family because everything that we do day and night and the work and the time and everything that it takes, they're dedicated to it. And I appreciate them greatly. In regards to our support staff and central staff, Clerk Gary Randall, I put you first on the list because in the Speaker's office, there's mugs that he likes to use when we have meetings. And he has this clerk, well, it says State Representative Gary Randall mug. Why I like it is that it's amazing to me that he served in this capacity here in the legislature, but I want to know who made a mug that could stand that test of time for that many years, because I know he served probably hundreds of years ago. So I got to find out who made that mug. With Doug Simon and his entire staff, the only guy that can walk on the House floor and get everybody nervous as to why he's here on the House floor, which I appreciate that. I don't see Scott Hummel around, but I just wanted to make sure that he remembers that my wife's name's Melissa. Those of you that were with us that evening understand what that's about. And Josiah Kissling has just been amazing, especially over my time here in this last 2 years with everything that we've had to navigate together. An amazing staffer. Hassan has been a great legal mind and counsel, and I am not an easy one to stay out of litigation, as past history would show. So it's good for him to keep me safe and out of trouble. To Rob and Annie Menard, I will say that Rob and I have an interesting relationship, not only quoting movies, but things that he likes to give me as gifts, including a name badge that I will pull out probably later today that says Shep instead of Sheppard. And Annie Menard has been great to work with when it comes to all kinds of capacities, whether it be working with the Speaker's office or just navigating our lives. She's amazing. To Gideon, for all the communications, that it's not easy helping me with communication. I'll just leave it at that. And I know Brian Mills isn't here, so he can't defend himself when I say he is definitely the most annoying person that I have to deal with when it comes to policy stuff, but he's got a great policy mind and does an excellent job. Jen Merchant, and I'm going to include her husband Rusty, they're friends and have been with me and Melissa for a long time here, not only helping navigate stuff that goes on in Lansing, but outside of it. Angie Lake, my clerk for committee, has been amazing. Brad Weaver has been amazing with the committee process. Joelle with handling the floor. The entire facilities staff who'd ever tell me no, only ask me when. Christina for helping me with all communications. Mike Quillinen, who continues to take pictures like it's some paparazzi, continuing now, and I thank him for the efforts he puts into it. And somebody that helped me early on is Tracy Dunnigan. She was around here early on and helped with coordination and everything, and it was just amazing. Christy has helped me on the whip stuff, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Chief Dixon and all the sergeants that are here that help us keep safe, keep things in order, and do an amazing job. As I think about the members, I just want to mention the 4 members that have passed in the time we've been here. It started as we came in together, Julie Plawicki, Peter Patalia, John Keevala, and Isaac Robinson. All four of them unique to their districts, all four of them unique pieces to this puzzle we call the legislature. All four of them I call friends, and all four of them are deeply missed, and we are saddened by their passing in this unusual time. Way too many black drapes have draped our desks here in the 6 years that I've been here. For the speakers, Kevin Cotter, the first speaker I had, didn't know him greatly at the beginning, but as we went through the term and all the stuff that we dealt with, including roads and some other fun stuff, which I'll mention later, we grew together. And I appreciate him giving me the chance to serve on the committees that I did and learning this process better. To Speaker Leonard, him and I didn't always see eye to eye. Those of you that were here understand what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, I can say this, we can put those differences aside because they're political. It's important for us to remember that you can't take this stuff personal. You have to do what you feel is right at the time. Motions and things are done and made, but at the end of the day, you just put that aside, and you don't harbor things. You remain friends and find a pathway to work together. To our current speaker, Lee Chatfield, all I can say, Lee, is I'm glad you're on the rostrum because I want to look you in the eye and say, you have been an amazing friend. You have been an amazing partner. You've been an amazing leader and an amazing speaker and amazing to this institution. And I'm going to say this, after watching what we've done together this term and what we've done together the last 6 years, and watching how you have grown in such a capacity of being able to manage and handle, I'm blessed to be a part of it. My wife and I think of you and Stephanie as greater than just the speaker and the speaker's wife or members that we serve with. I can speak for both of us to say that you're friends and you're part of our family, and that will not change going forward. So I truly appreciate you being on the rostrum for me to tell you that face to face. To Speaker-elect Wentworth, great 4 years serving together, empty chair, so I won't turn around again. Oh. All right, no, he stood up and waved. That wasn't awkward at all. To Speaker-elect Wentworth, I will say this, the 4 years have been great, and I want to say congratulations to you. And once you get handed the keys officially in January to the nut house that I call the 101st legislature, and the 100th actually in some regard, I will say this, of everybody here that's in our caucus and the people that are here on the floor, and no matter what side of the aisle you're from, I'm proud to call you friend, and I'm proud to say that you're going to do an excellent job taking control of the 101st because you have watched this process, and I know that you've soaked in and learned so much from everybody, and I think that the state of Michigan and this institution is blessed to have you going forward. So thank you for your friendship and time on that as well. To some other members that I got to serve with and seatmates like Ben Glarden, some of you remember him. He taught me not to read magazines on the House floor late nights. We'll leave it there. Chris Affendulis, him and I used to like to pick on Gary Glenn a little bit for votes that he would take, always saying he was voting against freedom. And I know that he would tell his lovely wife Annette, and she also has probably heard those stories coming from us. Somebody that I spent a lot of time with in the caucus room is Andrea LaFontaine. She taught me to just be quiet in the caucus room. Only speak when there's something of utmost importance to you to speak on, because the less you speak, the more people will listen in the caucus room. And I've taken that advice, and I want to thank her for that. To Nesbitt, Senator Nesbitt, and former Rep. Al Pershoka, couldn't have been here without both of them in many capacities. Julie Calley, I had to mention her in my speech because she would be upset if I didn't, I just know it. We have built a friendship, and as my chair on elections and ethics, and just over the 4 years we've served together and some of the amazing things we've done, she truly is a special legislator. She is a special person and somebody that I admire greatly. To Aiden and Lily, I love the both of you. And I really wanted to get a sign put up there for the three of us, like our own Greek letters, and hang it, because that's kind of our suite up there. But apparently we're not allowed to do that, which I don't understand why. I thought it was a perfect idea. But you two, to me, have meant a lot. Your friendship, your guidance, your trust that you've had in me and my trust that I've had in both of you over our time, and just watching this all unfold. And Representative Iden, I know you're leaving with me, and Lily still has another term. But again, these friendships are not going away at all, not in my eyes. You can kick me out later, but I'm not going anywhere, all right? To Floor Leader Cole, you've been a great friend and floor leader as we've gone through a lot of things together, and I just want to thank you for all the opportunities that you've given me with the great outdoors and your passion for your district, for sure. Chair Hernandez, I did not try to ban boating as much as you want to tell people I did, okay? Secondly, you were a great approach chair for me, never serving on approach. I love following the lead of my chair. I know the speaker thinks it's funny, I just keep my thumb up in approach, which is pretty much true. But Shane, I will say this, your wife and the girls and my wife and myself, we have utmost respect for you and your family. And I know that our friendship also will continue forward past this institution as we are both leaving it together. You've been an amazing friend. And it's interesting how some people from the outside, when I tell them how close we actually are, they almost don't believe it. Like we're kind of, you guys are friends? Oh yeah, Shane's hilarious. Get to know him. He actually is pretty hilarious. And he likes to throw a zinger every now and then. Mike Weber came in together, did a lot together. You've been a great chair of Reg Reform this term, and I just love you, man. You and your wife have been great to us, and you represent your area well, and I know you're moving on with me as well, and I think it's going to be great to see her future. Steve Johnson, I had to mention him because he's grown in a lot of areas except on the top of his head. He still has no hair. But he has grown to be a legislator that thinks things through, works things out, and I do admire that. So Stevie, good job. Good job. Kathy Crawford apparently mentioned me in her speech about doing impressions, so I'm going to do one that some people will appreciate. The blood will rise to the horse's bridle. That would be Senator Jim Runstead talking about a bill in caucus sometimes, and everything was an emergency. So we'll just leave it at that. Tommy Brand, thank you, my friend. He is a very encouraging person, and I want everybody to know that he does own a restaurant, if he hasn't told you that already. Love you, Tom. Doc Vaupel, Mr. Chair, health policy was one of my favorites, and I love our friendship and the way we can just chat openly, and I like when he calls me the man when actually he is the man. Aaron Miller, you and I, Tort, we can always leave it at that. We made it this far, and I thank you for that. And Rep. Hauk, you're just a weird guy. But I do like that your hair is grown out and you look just a little bit better. So I'll just leave it at that. You won't be so Max Headroomy, Some of the freshmen this year have utilized my office as a second office, so I'm just going to call them out by name so that you know who the noise is coming from when you hear it come out of those doors. Rep. Wenzel, Van Werkum, Mueller, Wozniak, Filler, Bolin, and Leitner. And when I say Bolin and Leitner together, that is just a duo you're going to have to be careful of over the next 4 years, just trust me. But all of you, I like the time that we've spent, the way that you've listened and followed and done things and handled yourself, and it's exciting to see what the future holds for you. So my friends on the other side of the aisle, my committee members, Christine Gregg and Yusuf Rabi, thank you so much for this term. Thank you so much for your friendship and the time that we have taken to get to know each other. You're amazing legislators, and I'm proud to have served with both of you. Adam Zemke and Bob Kozowski have always been close friends, and they always will continue to be. And I have to mention Rep. Manoogian because when we first met on a bill issue, she gave me her list of accomplishments, and in my head I'm thinking, how did she do all this at like 19 years old? But I realized she's a little bit older than I thought, but that's okay. I thought 19. And I have to mention former legislators, Bill Lavoie, and then current legislator Joe Bellino. They're my brothers from Monroe. And without their encouragement and without them serving in this capacity, I could see Monroe not being on the map as much as it is. And I want to thank their leadership and time spent here in the House with me. It was definitely a positive thing. And to the governors, Snyder and Gretchen Whitmer, I want to thank them for taking the time to run for governor, to become the leader of this state. may not always agree on policy or direction, but at the end of the day, anyone that takes that sacrifice, that time away from their family, to put themselves out there, to try to do that job, deserves recognition and thanks from all of us that are here, because it's not an easy one, regardless which party or who it is, not an easy one. We served in unprecedented times, seeing members that we had to expel. We dealt with Flint water. We dealt with a pandemic. We've dealt with some large things, such as auto insurance reform. I was here for energy reform packages. And again, I did not try to ban boating. And I will also say that I've enjoyed my time working with our auto dealers and keeping their businesses secure, regardless of litigation. I enjoyed my time. And these are some big things that we worked on and that we did, even in unprecedented times. And that's because of the leadership of all of us, that we're here to work together, to get things done, to move things forward that are better for the state. And we cannot do it without mentioning this, the lobby community. With term limits, it's impossible for all of us to know every detail about every issue. I know there's a few of us in this chamber that think we do, but we really don't. And because of that, we need those that are advocating for those issues, that have long histories with those issues. And I want to thank all of those that have helped me navigate through multiple issues. We may not always been on the same side, but I always appreciate the discussions. I will miss most of them. You know who you are. There's a few I may not miss as much, but that's okay. Just as you in the lobby community ask us to hold each other accountable, I challenge you all to do the same. Hold yourselves and your colleagues accountable. Your professional community is only as strong as your weakest link. And those of us here that have a view of the lobby world as something maybe different, I encourage you to get to know them, to utilize their talents, and to make decisions on a lot of things that they tell us to do. In wrapping up, I just want to reflect a little bit. First, I want to say T.C. Clements will be taking over the 56th district starting in January. It's an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing job. It's an amazing thing that you'll be doing. And I was proud to call him friend and be able to help him get to this place. So everyone that's staying, please take care of him. Treat him like you treated me. That could be good or bad, but treat him like you treated me. And to all of you, I want you to remember one thing. This is a job. The longest some of us could serve here would be 6 years. Some may move on to Senate, some may not, or other offices. But for the most of us, it's 6 years. And it's indeed one of the most unique and interesting jobs that all of us, or most of us, or some of us may ever have. But always remember, it is a job. The decisions we make here cannot be made all personal. We represent 90,000 people back home. We all sit in this chamber, 110 of us, when we're a full chamber, and we come from different parts of the state. We come from different walks of life, different backgrounds. We need to respect that. We need to have respect for each other, regardless of the letter next to our name. We may or may not agree on items and issues in policy and procedure, but we all need to agree on one thing. We're citizens of the state of Michigan first. We're citizens of this country first. And our personal opinions on things can be debated, but never carry it or harbor ill will towards each other. Once that occurs, the whole system breaks down. Don't take it personal. If I took everything personal that happened to me in this job, I'd be curled up in a corner 24/7. You just got to wear it, and you got to own it. We're a family, no matter how you slice it. Everything that we make as decisions-wise need to be as guideposts to a better future for our state. I'm going to leave you with this. Deuteronomy 31:6. And this is out of the correct Bible, the King James Version, Mr. Speaker. Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doeth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Use those words. Follow that guidance. Do what you know is right. Do what's right and for the betterment of the state and for our citizens. And I just want to thank all of you for this time that you've allowed me to serve here with all of you. It has been a distinct honor and pleasure. I wish all of you the best in the future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.